So I'll be sharing 2 books that I've actually read that contributed to my implementation of better habits when it comes to trading and life in general. The habits, or the small daily things that we do each and every day, will affect our performance, because just like in sport, as much as physical condition is important, the mental condition is of vital importance. It cannot be underestimated. So we develop habits that are conducive to our trading development or to our successful trading, and want to kill those habits that hinder our progress or that disturb our trading performance. So with regards to that, I have 2 books that I would like to recommend. The first one is The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Okay, so this is a book that talks about developing good habits and breaking bad habits, and also how tiny changes affect our future or our future performance. So as you can see, there are little things that we do, right, that end up having a compounded effect later on in life. For example, if we develop a habit of laziness, or maybe a habit of waking up late, that will build. Napoleon Hill calls that a hypnotic rhythm, right? So that will build, and before you know it, it's now affecting your preparation, your daily preparation. Before you know it, your results, you've become weak, and before you know it, you are now losing a lot in trading. So this book, what it does is, it is centered around the laws of making a habit, or of generating good habits, and also the laws of killing the bad habits. So I'll start with the laws around how to create a good habit. So number 1, make it obvious. So I'm going to use how I developed the habit of a reading culture. I'm going to use a personal example in this case. So how did I develop a reading culture? Number 1, making it obvious. So if you get in my house, you'll see books all over. Books in my bedroom, books in my lounge, books on the kitchen counter, books everywhere. So it's obvious that I have to read. They make it obvious that I have to read. Then number 2, the second law is make it attractive. So how do I make it attractive? I have another way that I use to make books attractive. So what I do is, when I'm listening to people that inspire me, let's say successful traders, I pay attention to what's in their background, right? So I see their bookshelves, I listen to the books that they read and how it transformed their lives. So hearing how it transformed their lives, and also hearing their quality interviews, it makes me want to read. It makes me want to develop myself. So that's how reading has become attractive to me. The third law is make it easy. If you want to develop a culture, it's very difficult to sustain a habit, a new habit, when it's difficult or when it's strenuous. So in reading, what I've done is, I started with 2 pages at a time. So I would read 2 pages, and then I close the book for the day. I'm done. At the end of the day, instead of aiming for a chapter or aiming for maybe 2 chapters a day, which is time consuming and also strenuous, I'll be looking forward to reading my 2 pages, because they are very easy. It's a very easy task. Even if I read 1 page, I would still be proud of myself because of the initiative that I have read. So that's making it easy. Then the 4th law is reward. So you have to reward yourself. You have to make it satisfying, right? So for me, the reward came in what I did was, I had the goal of sleeping a better person than I was when I woke up. So when I read, the amount of information that I had, or the knowledge that I had acquired, I would list those things down and then get the satisfaction that, okay, today I learned this stuff. Today I learned about doing this thing. So this is something new that I've learned. I've improved my life. So journaling also make you feel satisfied with the progress that you have made, especially in terms as far as reading is concerned, because you would notice patterns of change or the development. Then we'll now look at the negative or the bad habits. So the bad habits is now just an inverse of what we have just talked about. So for making it visible, try to make it invisible. So for example, television, you can remove the television from your lounge, or not even buying it. That's how you make it invisible. Or you spend more time, if you have a separate library, you spend more time in your library or in your bedroom, so that you avoid watching TV. Then number 2, make it unattractive. So how do I make it unattractive? So the way you can make it unattractive is that you can track maybe your behaviors, right? When you spend a day without watching TV, and then when you spend a day watching TV. So you can also do it in this way. You can say, before you have started watching TV, how are you feeling? Then jot it down in your journal. Then after you have watched TV, write the notes also stating how are you feeling. You notice that if you are like me, there's going to be a laziness, your mood is going to be down, your energy levels are going to be down. That's what happened to me. I noticed that after watching the TV for maybe 30 minutes or maybe an hour or 2, I'll be exhausted, I'll feel lazy, I won't want to get off the couch. So I didn't want to continue living that kind of a lifestyle. Then it became so unattractive to me, because I knew, okay, if I'm sitting down here, the aftermath of it is that I'm going to feel extremely lazy, and it's going to impact negatively on my performance today or the day after. Then the third law, make it difficult. So one way of making it difficult is you can switch off the plugs of a television and remove the plugs, and also hide the remote. So because it will be very difficult for you to go and get, maybe you have placed your remote at the top shelf in your closet, it will take a lot of time for you to go and get that TV, plug it, to go and get that remote, switch it on and stuff. Then the fourth law, make it unsatisfying. So it can also be done through journaling or asking yourself questions. What have I learned? What have I gained out of this? In most cases, you don't learn anything positive. So that will be so unsatisfying to you. Or think of the things that you could have done in those 30 minutes that you would have watched that TV. So the other book that I read is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So I read them at the same time, both of them. So the compound effect also talks about the small, tiny things that you do, how they lead to the next big thing, or how they lead to the next big distraction, right? So it's all about those habits compounding. Everything that you're doing, as far as your trading is concerned, maybe if it's positive, it's going to yield results, not today, not next week, not tomorrow, not next month, but probably in the coming year. So what compound effect has done to me was it lowered my expectations for trading in terms of the speed of things happening. So it made me realize that, okay, these things take time. Whatever I'm doing today, the results will be multiplied in future. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it will definitely happen. So the compound effect also made me increase my hunger for learning, my hunger for improving, knowing that those small improvements that I was doing to my trading process, they are going to be multiplied, and they are going to be huge at the end of the period. Let's say in 5 years, if I continue doing what I'm doing at the same pace, acquiring as much knowledge as I can, working on my discipline, working on my habits, what will I be in 5 years? So it helped me create a better perspective as far as my trading is concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll also read these books. They are very good for your trading. They are also very good for your personal life. I personally benefited a lot from these 2 books that I've mentioned today. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Roy Machingora, out.